welcome to our highlight show with the best picks of the week. Here's a look at what's coming up. Deceptive, the 3D street paintings by Dutch artist Leon Keer. Skilled, football freestyler Kitti Szász and her amazing tricks. And breezy, a modern Portuguese holiday home with an unusual feature. We kick off the show with an Italian classic, the Fiat 500. Now, they couldn't know it at the time, but its designers were creating a small icon when they came out with the Cinquecento. Now, it might not be the fastest set of wheels on the road, but its simple design has made it a popular vehicle for 60 years. We were on hand in northern Italy, where more than 1,000 proud owners showed off some classic versions.
More than 1,000 Fiat Cinquecentos are being put through their paces here on the Italian Riviera. Each summer, you can see the most eye-catching examples from around the world here in Garlenda. This model dates from 1969. There are plenty of bends in the road here for Alberto Borgini.
Driving this car, it's not a fun, it's a special feeling because it's like a time travel, I would say. It's really old style way to drive. And it's a mix now you don't get with the normal road-going cars of that times. So this is really completely different, and this is the spirit of driving a Fiat Cinquecento.
The Cinquecento, the Fiat 500, is being feted with a whole range of events. The annual meet is organized by the Fiat 500 Club Italia, which has more than 20,000 members around the world. And this year, fans from far and wide are marking the 60th anniversary of this iconic small car. Many of them have been here before.
We came here 10 years ago because we drove a little car like this right around the world, from Vladivostok all the way to Garlenda and then all the way to Anchorage in Alaska.
We're all crazy about this car. Just look. That's the Fiat 500 Bug.
This cute car is remarkable because in mechanical terms, it is so straightforward. Powered by just 13 horsepower, vintage Fiat 500s like this also don't have anything like power steering. And changing gears requires practice.
When you downshift, it's gonna be like that. Because you play twice with the clutch, you get to push the throttle, the gearbox is not sync, so you get to do that. You can feel how was the life some years ago. It's an important thing to feel and taste.
Alberto Borgini also calls in at the Fiat 500 Club's museum in Garlenda. CARLO Giuliani is one of the rally organizers, and he has created an exhibition here about the history of the car, which helped change Italian society. Its introduction in 1957 marked the beginning of rural mobility. 4 people, a family with kids, and the whole kit and caboodle could travel around Italy in relative comfort.
The Cinquecento was the first opportunity to Italians to pass from the scooter to a real car.
And that car was designed by Dante Giacosa. The engineer had already created its predecessor, the Topolino, but got his big break in 1957 with the Fiat 500 Nuova. A new Cinquecento was launched by Giacosa's successors in 1991, but wasn't too popular. Only when Fiat brought out a retro model in 2007 did sales pick up. But at the car meet in Garlenda, they're all fans of the original and its timeless design.
I can follow a Ferrari with my car, park in the city. The kids will come and look at this car. That's something in the kids' mind. I've never been able to understand what they see when I look at 500.
Because it's something a bit smiling. I don't know. I find something smiling in the face of that car.
In USA, when we were driving there, they have never seen these, and they look at them and they all wave and smile. It's just, it is a car that brings out happiness in everybody.
For many participants, one of the highlights is cruising through the countryside on the Ligurian coast, with a soft top down and at a leisurely pace, since the car has a top speed of 85 kilometers per hour.
Our speed is almost limited, but anyway, we can really feel the sky up over there with us, the countryside, that's Fiat 500 and that's Italy.
The procession of classic Cinquecentos passes through one village after another. After a short rest stop, the journey continues. A journey back in time to the 1960s when La Dolce Vita was alive and well.
We turn our attention now to a young Dutch talent who's trying to get the general masses excited about art. Leon Keer counts as one of the most important 3D street artists in the world. And right now, he's on tour with his creations, traveling across Europe and North America, presenting a new work each week. And as you'll see in our next report, there is more to his images than meets the eye.
Artworks that keep you guessing. They play with the viewer's perception, sometimes appearing so real that it's uncanny. These are all works by Dutch street artist Leon Keer. He's built up a fan following all over the world, despite the fact that he has no formal art training. He primarily follows the rules of mathematics.
At school I was very good in mathematics, but I never knew what I could do with it. Like I found it kind of useless to learn all these kind of formulas and all these kind of techniques of mathematics. But now, if you see this artwork and you are busy with the work, you feel a kind of that you also need it.
Aside from mathematics, his computer is also an essential tool. It allows him to play around with the perspective in the two-dimensional images. He can then reproduce the images on the ground so that they look perfectly three-dimensional. In his latest work, he's painting 3 identical girls sitting on a landscape of melting ice. As with all 3D images, the spatial effect only works when you're looking at it from the right angle. Seen from the side, the picture looks distorted and does not immediately make sense.
Well, the most challenging part is that you have to convert your two-dimensional sketch into this 3D distorted image. So you have to distort it very, very widely. And in the beginning of the painting, so when you are standing close to the viewpoint, it's okay, that distortion, but if you are further away from the viewpoint, then you have to distort it even more.
A line of thread serves as an invaluable aid throughout the entire process. It simulates what will later be the viewer's line of vision, giving Keer the necessary orientation as he paints his distorted image on the ground. He regularly checks the results of his work from the designated viewpoint. To ensure that his works are not immediately washed away by the elements, he uses acrylic paint rather than chalk.
On every stroke, on every brush stroke you make, you have to be aware how it looks like from that viewpoint. So my body could be there, painting, on top of the painting, but my mind is at the viewpoint.
Keer first took up 3D painting 10 years ago, and he's been perfecting his technique ever since. He now spends 10 months of the year traveling around the world, producing a new artwork every week. Like this one at the World Street Painting Festival in the Dutch city of Arnhem. Works by artists from all over the world will be on display here until September 3rd. Like Leon Keer, they're all able to live off their work. Throughout the year, there are numerous 3D street art festivals, especially in Europe and the US.
It is popular because of the internet. Like everybody wants to be on the picture and take a photo, share it on their Facebook or other social media account, and therefore you will get a lot of likes.
Once he's finished, he marks the ideal spot for the viewer to look at the painting. It's taken him 4 days to complete this one. Like all his works, it's been designed so that people can become part of the 3D image when they pose for photos.
It's really an awesome street art picture.
It looks like real. When you stand exactly at that point, it looks like real.
Leon Keer's next job is already waiting in Norway. His work in Arnhem will survive for a few months until the rain and the street cleaners let it fade away.
My focus is on creating a piece, and when it's there, when it has the final result, I take a photo, put it on the net, but I don't look at it anymore. It's just I'm focused already on the next artwork, and that's going to be even better, bigger.
His artworks on the street may have long since disappeared, but they live on in the internet and on the smartphones of passers-by the world over.
The UEFA Women's Euro 2017 kicks off in the Netherlands on Sunday, and fans of women's soccer will be following the event closely here in Germany. And that's because the German team is defending its title at the championship. Well, unfortunately, women's soccer doesn't have the same draw as when the guys take to the pitch. In reality, the sport certainly does remain a male domain. But we met up with a women's 4-time freestyle world champion from Hungary who knows how to give the men a run for their money.
Whether she uses her head or her feet, Hungarian Kitti Szász can do pretty much anything with a soccer ball. After all, she is one of the world's top freestyle footballers. Freestyle football is about performing tricks with a ball, using most any part of the body. Coordination, balance, and ball control are vital.
The funny thing is that I haven't played football, like never. I did karate for 10 years, which has nothing to do with this, but I somehow like the tricks, just the tricks, not the running, not the team play, but the small dribbles and tricks.
Szász earns her living from these tricks. 10 years ago, she saw a freestyle football video on the web and tried to do the moves herself. Now she trains several hours a day.
Now it's my work, it's my hobby. Actually, it's the only constant thing in my life that I love and I live for. That was deep.
On her travels, she's met famous athletes, like 4-time Formula 1 world champion Sebastian Vettel, and a freestyle football idol.
Definitely the highlight of my freestyle career was meeting Neymar in Brazil. We played together for like 10 minutes. He showed some tricks, I showed him some tricks, and he said that he has never seen any girl before that can handle the ball so well like me.
Kitti Szász shows off her ball handling skills in central Budapest. While her performance can rival any man's, many still consider soccer to be a male sport. Women still earn far less money and public recognition. In the freestyle scene, Szász knows that people take her seriously. But in everyday life, a woman who can kick the ball around like she can really stands out.
I played when I was younger in Italy for Modena in the youth team, and till I was about 20, semi-pro in London. That I could never do.
Usually, men is better than women, but I am shy with her because it's like Neymar.
In Belgium, we also have a national football team for the girls and also support the girls.
Kitti Szász keeps proving that freestyle isn't strictly a male domain. That's made her a role model for young girls around the world. She's already looking forward to next year's World Championships.
I'm 26 years old and I have no idea how long I can do this, like how long I can compete. But I try to come back and do the tricks that I've dreamed of, and I'm gonna be happy even if I win one more time or not.
Once her active career is over, Szász wants to work as a coach. But in the weeks ahead, she'll still be showing off her soccer skills. in Sweden and China.
Euromaxx is up to date and active on many social media channels. We also have an Instagram profile that combines everything that you love us for. Here's more.
Europe at its best. Euromaxx brings you the highlights on Instagram. Stunning landscapes, spectacular buildings, and mouth-watering delicacies. Our reporters are constantly on the lookout with their cameras. We look forward to your comments. Check out our Euromaxx Instagram stories and discover how exciting and diverse Europe can be. Follow us on Instagram.
Sometimes the best experiences simply happen by accident, and that was the case for Finnish artist Riitta IKONEN. She wanted to create a project combining nature with elderly people, but she needed a photographer and some senior citizens who were willing to pose. So she did what any logical person would do. She did a Google search for photographer and grandmother. Well, the results of this endeavor are now being shown in an international photography exhibition entitled Eyes as Big as Plates.
At first glance, there's unspoiled nature. But a closer look reveals a solitary figure at one with the environment. Each picture in the Eyes as Big as Plates series transports viewers into a different fantastical world. KAROLINE HJORTH from Norway and Riitta IKONEN from Finland have traveled the world, staging scenes with real people in natural landscapes. They were inspired by Norse legends and myths.
It started very in the beginning of the project. We were looking at personifications of natural phenomena. So we were trying to see how could a rock be alive, how people explained different dangers, for example, that existed in nature. And then from there we made the leap over some years of talking with people all over the world into imagination and how you connect with your surroundings.
The two artists work on each picture together, like here in Iceland.
That added drama.
Riitta makes the portable sculptures while KAROLINE is responsible for the photography. They work with amateur models who don't get paid for their participation. Most of them are retired.
That age group have a particular sense of liberty with it, or the sense of freedom when they are being photographed. They've come to a point where they have experienced a lot and they have a lot of stories, so they are maybe just more interesting people.
The artists tend to find their models by chance or by visiting senior citizens' homes, though sometimes they advertise. KJARTANSDOTTIR, who's from Iceland, has posed for them twice now. She responded to an ad in the paper 4 years ago.
The human being and nature, we have always been so twinned together, but it's at the same time the human beings are distancing themselves from the nature, and so I find this very exciting.
Since 2011, KAROLINE HJORTH and Riitta IKONEN have photographed more than 50 people in more than 10 countries. Their project is not just about capturing the moment in a snapshot. Each photo shoot is different and often involves more than just art.
Spectacular. Social club, philosophy club.
Some kind of crisis management very often on a shoot. Maybe it's some kind of adventure club.
Yes, that's a good one. Adventure club, that's what we do.
It's great that we show these people having so much fun. Like this age group that isn't seen so incredibly explosively fun-loving is suddenly seen as quite adventurous. Yeah. And we really enjoy that.
The two women show their works all over the world. Right now they have an exhibition in Reykjavik. Their pictures have a strong following online as well. They've been able to raise enough crowdfunding money to publish a book, which, like their project, is called Eyes as Big as Plates.
It's actually from a folktale, a Norwegian folktale or Nordic folktale. But that was a troll with the eyes the size of plates. But then there's another dimension to it, that the people we meet through this project, they have all this open spirit and very curious souls, so it seemed fitting that they have this open attitude.
The artists are also interested in their models' personal lives, which inspires them to choose the setting for their photo shoots.
Yes! Love it! And we are trying to figure out how we relate to our surroundings. And I think we might have to go on that quest for quite a few decades more. So I guess it's being a little bit more humble, maybe, towards our surroundings and learning from our strangers.
With eyes as big as plates, KAROLINE HJORTH and RIITTA IKONEN inspire people to pause for a moment, both those in the photos and those who look at them.
And finally, we round off the show with a sneak peek into someone's humble abode. And I recently visited a house in the Alentejo region of Portugal, which was designed by the Portuguese star architect Manuel Aires Mateus. Now, this isn't an ordinary home. Parts of it don't have a roof, and that was done on purpose. So I wanted to find out why. At first glance, this house may look unfinished, but that's the intention. Here, the idea of space is redefined. Unlike most homes where all the rooms are under one roof, this house was built in units, parts of which are without a roof.
Hello, I'm Claude Martin. Welcome to my house in Melides, Alentejo.
This is Claude's vacation home. He and his wife Evelyn have decorated it with pieces they found locally. They bought the land in 2012. The home was completed 3 years later.
The house was built to be open to nature, open to the views on the sea and on the trees, and to be at the same time together. We are here in the main living room, and as you can see, you have huge windows so that we can enjoy being outside and inside without any problem. Since we want to be independent from friends, although we are friends, we built 3 different units, which are the bedroom with our own bathroom, so that if they want to relax and enjoy the quietness of the area, they can live their own life without actually interacting with others. So this is an extension of our living room, an outside extension, and this is like a house without a roof.
The main house is 100 square meters, but the total living space adds up to about 200 square meters. The exterior walls of the structure are made of concrete, pressed to look like wood.
This is a kitchen. We wanted to keep it simple, functional, and at the same time open. So as you can see, there's no roof.
The architect drew inspiration for this contemporary dwelling from empty, roofless houses that frequently dot the Portuguese countryside. And since Alentejo sees very few rainy days per year, it's also a concept that works here.
Okay, as you can see, this is a traditional Portuguese farmhouse of a region of Alentejo, and this is the type of house that we wanted to duplicate. This is why we chose this sort of A shape from the inside and V-shaped roof type, but we didn't like actually so much of the traditional ties. So we said to the architect, and that was his idea, to use the traditional frame of a Portuguese house, but in a modern and sort of minimalist way.
This house sits on 7 hectares of land and also includes an infinity pool, which looks out over the Atlantic Ocean. The weather in Melides is mostly mild and breezy, creating a summertime feeling all year round.
So this is the end of our little tour. I hope you enjoyed the house, as we enjoy it. And it's time to say goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Até já. À bientôt.
it's time for us to say goodbye. So if you miss us over the weekend, however, don't forget to check out our website. As always, from me and the rest of the crew here at Euromaxx, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.